turn purple.
You know, obviously, I'd like to talk about Mr. Allen. It was a very sad day, obviously, for everybody. And you know, he was an extraordinary man, literally changed the world and continued to change the world with all his endeavors and his diverse interests. You know, his leadership of the team was inspirational. He's always looking for a better way to do things. I think he did that with us. He did that with most of his businesses and his endeavors. On a personal note, I was very fortunate to have known him and to have worked for him. He's very passionate about the Blazers. That came through anytime he was around. You guys saw him at the games, in the draft. He loved the Blazers, and his commitment to the Blazers and the city of Portland was exceptional and really cannot be overstated. I just read briefly what Bill Gates said about him, and you know that he deserved more time because he would have made good use of it. He was an amazing man, amazing person.
You use the word passionate. It seems to be a word that everybody uses when talking about him. Is there examples or a story you might could share that would reveal that?
You know, not really. I'm not really much of a storyteller, but you can tell when someone cares. You know, and passion doesn't have to be a hoorah, you know, in your face type of passion. You could tell how much he cared about the team, about its players, that they did well, that they wanted. He loved for young players to blossom. You know, the discussions that we would have during the season, after the season, it was, you know, you could just tell that the Blazers and their success of the team and the players were always on his mind.
Was there something different about kind of Paul's approach to the way you think he interacted with you or just the team in general?
Well, you know what I think is probably interesting is, you know, I've been here 6 years. He owned the team for 30 years. I think Paul was probably a different owner now than he was in his early years. You know, much like Mark Cuban is probably a different owner now than he was in his early years. You know, when I first came here, I think Paul was 59, 60 years old, and he had been through everything. He had gone through the ups and downs of owning an NBA team. I forget what your original question was, but you know, as far as how he approached being an owner, he was involved, he cared, but probably demonstrated it differently. I read Jason Quick's article about, you know, some of the times where he brought the team up to Seattle or was on the boat. You know, he wasn't probably as outgoing in his latter years as he was earlier, which is probably to be expected.
Did you interview? I assume you interviewed with him when you.
I interviewed with him on his yacht in London while he was there for the Olympics.
Neil was telling us kind of when he interviewed, he said you really put him through his paces. I mean, what do you remember from that interview?
Very insightful, thoughtful questions. My vision for the team, coaching style. You know, typical big picture question. Not how I'm gonna guard a pick and roll or anything like it. It's more big picture, cultural type of things.
But it was apparent, I would assume, that this was, I mean, he, like you said, he loved the Blazers, he was passionate about the Blazers, just from that interview.
Well, yeah, it comes through, and you know, you don't own a team for 30 years without that joy. And I think everybody who, you know, a lot of you have been around the Blazers for many years knew that. I'm not saying anything that nobody here doesn't already know.
Did he ever talk about when he was growing up, how he got interested in basketball?
No, I never talked to him about that. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Terry, how did you kind of approach the team or last night when you talked about practice today?
Well, actually, we found out after the team had left yesterday. So Neil addressed the staff here at the practice facility yesterday afternoon, and then Neil addressed the team this morning. But you know, in today's world, and you guys followed our players, most of them knew and tweeted or Instagrammed about, I thought, very, very nice comments. And so, like I said, Neil addressed the team, but really wasn't even that necessary.
Just kind of, but I was more kind of in the sense of preparing for the Lakers and kind of dealing with that issue while also trying to also focus on the game? Assuming that was not an issue.
No, I mean we have a game on Thursday, and honestly, what Neil told the team, and I echo it, is that the best tribute we could give Paul would be to have a great season, go out and play our hearts out for him, not only opening night but for the rest of the year, because that's what he cared the most about.
On that, how do you like the team going into the season?
I like our team. I think we're. I really like what we're doing offensively. Defensively, we're gonna have to kind of tie a few things up. It'll be a good test on Thursday with the style of play that the Lakers play, and then backing it up with a game against San Antonio, which is probably a different style of play. But I think we're in a good place, and it'll be good to toss it up.
Is Mo okay?
Mo practiced today, so I don't have a status, in case anybody was wondering. But he did go through the practice today.
How do you like the fact that you guys are the biggest game in the NBA in the opening night?
Well, it's you can check off the list between LeBron and the Lakers and opening night and Commissioner Silver, and I mean it's national TV. It's probably one of the bigger games outside of a playoff game that we've had here, and I think everybody likes it.
Thanks, Terry.
All right, thanks everybody.